the big person we're missing here, Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers.
And Joel is playing as well as any person in the game right now.
Yeah, I'm mad at that. I'm mad at that.
Why are you mad at it?
Because I think 5-6 years ago they took the center out of the game. And the center should always be in the game no matter what. All this backcourt and frontcourt, Joel Embiid is a center. He should be the starting center for the Eastern Conference, period.
In what seems like annual tradition at this point, Joel Embiid has fallen just short of receiving some type of honor despite being one of the most consistent dominant forces the league has to offer. And since December 6th, he's taken it to another level. So let's take a look at some of the numbers. In this stretch, Joel has efficiently averaged over a point a minute. He's rebounding the ball, making plays for others, and defending at a high level. Philly has absolutely dominated teams with him on the floor. The Sixers are the hottest team in the league, having gone 20-4 in this stretch. They've won 7 in a row, 5 of which were on the road during their West Coast trip. Several of these games came down to the final minutes, in which big plays were needed from their best players to squeeze them out.
Good shot here. Anything going to the basket would be ideal.
James behind the back to Joel. Fading and hitting. Sixers.
Shot clock down to 5. Harden against O'Neal. Harden driving the 3, gets to the rim, and puts it in off the window.
However, Saturday's matchup versus Denver had a different feel to it. Not only was it the perfect opportunity to legitimize this stretch against the second hottest team in the league, but it was a matchup many had circled because the two-time reigning MVP Nikola Jokic was in town for a showdown between the league's 2 best centers. Early in the game, Denver had more of a sense of urgency. Watch here as Jokic sprints the floor after Denver gets a rebound, leaving Embiid far behind. This leads to a cross match and Jokic gets an easy 2. Here's Denver again in an early push situation with a 5-on-4 advantage, and they find KCP, who's been shooting the lights out, wide open. Or how about Bruce Brown, following his own miss while the Sixers just watch and finding Gordon for an easy finish. The Sixers give up another wide open look from 3, this time from a Jokic pick and pop. Seems like Trez expects Melton to peel back on a late switch, but regardless, poor communication leads to another breakdown. Philly was just a step slow in the beginning, and Denver had them in rotation, generating several quality looks. The Sixers' live ball turnovers also got Denver some freebies with how well they change ends. Here's one of the most significant plays of the first half. Joker is operating from the elbow, one of his favorite spots. He's far too comfortable with Embiid not closing his airspace, and more importantly, with Embiid pulled away from the hoop, the other Sixers here offer 0 rim resistance. Meanwhile, offensively, the Sixers' 2-man game drew 3 defenders for most of the night. MPJ goes over with Jokic at the level trying to shrink that window, and KCP pre-rotates over to meet Embiid on his roll. Again, here's that same look, but Harden uses a slight hesitation to freeze Denver and sneaks by for a layup. Overall, though, you see how Denver at least made it more challenging to cleanly connect on that pocket pass. Niang rescues this possession by slipping through the cracks for a layup. Even with Embiid and Harden playing well in the first half, the Sixers found themselves down quite a bit, primarily because of the defensive miscues. Jokic closed the half out beautifully by slipping when he sensed Embiid was cheating up too high. He then finds Gordon to put Denver up 15 at the break. That's when everyone's favorite coach Doc Rivers made an interesting tactical change for the second half. Doc elected to put the 6'5" PJ Tucker on Jokic, and Embiid was in a roamer role playing off of Aaron Gordon, who's Denver's least consistent perimeter threat. PJ wasted no time being handsy and closing the airspace that Jokic was freely given in the first half. There's precedent to this strategy. Doc cited Miami used PJ this way last season. Grant Williams is nicknamed Batman for some of the work he's done against Joker in the past. And of course, the Warriors have had Draymond Green defend Jokic on a number of critical possessions. You don't stop superstars, you just find ways to make them work harder. PJ was early picking up Jokic in the backcourt, and when he gives up the ball, you see how he doesn't let Jokic freely catch the ball where he wants. Instead, Tucker extends out beyond the three-point line, which makes Jokic catch the ball closer to 30 feet. The Sixers as a unit had much better ball pressure in the second half, nearly forcing a turnover here. A lot of that has to do with the confidence you get with Joel Embiid as a paint protector behind you. Philly stops all of a sudden turned them into the aggressors, finding easy transition scores because of them. Just watch Tucker battle this whole possession. We saw none of this in the first half, and Jokic kind of just rushes this shot. Tucker again battles Jokic. He's able to contain him laterally, and he does his best to deny the entry pass back, and this is a foul you live with. Even in the instances where Jokic found daylight, Embiid's roamer roll put him in ideal position to not only challenge shots vertically, but also to end possessions with defensive rebounds. All of these stops allowed Philly to change ends quicker, so now when Embiid sets an early drag, you see Denver isn't prepared. Nobody on the weak side pre-rotates, and Jokic is flat-footed nowhere near the level. This leads to a 2-on-1 downhill, and this is cake for Philly. With both teams trading blows, it was only fitting this game was in the balance when both big men checked back in during the fourth. This is where Embiid took matters into his own hands, operating out of a face-up and hitting Jokic with a series of pull-ups. Here's another early push from Philly, and this is a 7-footer slamming the brakes and showing off the touch with a floater. Little two-man game here, and this time Embiid pops to the three-point line and buries it. It wasn't just scoring either, as he sees Gordon the whole way after he rolls here, and credit to Embiid for trusting Harris here. And just for good measure, Joel got Jokic out on an island and iced the game with a step-back three. Just a sensational game from Joel. So behind a brilliant halftime adjustment from Doc, increased ball pressure and tenacity from the Sixers defense, and Joel Embiid thoroughly outplaying the two-time MVP down the stretch, the Sixers remain the hottest team in the league. That is all. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace.
You've got the mic. Anything you'd like to say?
Just the process.
Thanks, Joel.